Hello, everyone, and good morning. I would like to thank IBTM World Virtual for letting me participate in this exceptional experience session. No doubt it's going to be 2 wonderful days, and it's a truly honor to be part of it. For most of the retail and consumer companies, 2020 has brought complications that they had never faced before. All companies must adapt to the new needs and expectations of the consumers, which has changed a lot. We are clearly living turbulent times, and we are not sure about what is going to happen. With this presentation, I would like to contribute with ideas about retail, mostly in recent change and trends, and how technology is helping to reduce the uncertainty for the better benefits. But before that, let me just share a little bit of words about myself. I have more than 20 years of experience, and I have been working all these years very close to technology. First in the area of telecommunications, and later in areas about digital payments and e-commerce. I always work in companies that has been pioneer in changing one specific sector, as eBay, e-commerce, PayPal payments, or Ericsson in mobile communications. Most recently, I had been working in Deliveroo in London, managing as a VP for restaurants. And right now I'm working in Spain, back in Spain, as the CEO of Entradas. Entradas is the subsidiary of CTS 17, one of the major companies in Europe on ticketing and live entertainment sectors. So I hope during this presentation and knowing my background, I can share with you some thoughts about retail and about consumers and technology. So what has happened with the retail sector and how it has been affected? Let's think about retail. Retail is just not, when we think about retail, most of the time we think about food and just providing, like the supermarkets. But I think retail it goes beyond one specific vertical. It touches different channels and distributions. So I think retail is everything that goes to B2C, that touch, from the seller to the consumer. And here we say that retail can be banking, could be like I'm working right now on the ticketing sector, and it has a huge impact in the economy because it touches very many verticals. And just to give you an example, thinking about retail that globally, in retail just in Spain represents 5% of the GDP. So clearly it has a huge effect in the economy. What has happened and what has happened all over? I think we were living in what we call it VUCA times. VUCA means volatile, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Because of the technology and the change, we were living in these VUCA environments. But what has happened these last months? It comes at turbulence. Turbulence is when an external factor comes or an internal factor in the company and really transform these VUCA times in even turbulence, that the environment becomes explosive, like really irrational, adverse, and very polarized. That means that what we are living right now, that means that the uncertainty is huge and we don't know what is going to happen. And COVID and what we are living right now has made that really for retailers and overall for the society, we're living in times where we can say that we are really in a turbulent time. Plus, all this turbulence, when we live now with all the communication, and the social media that is, we know what is happening around the world in every second, it becomes even more impact, how this change becomes through the communications more real. And we feel like we are living in a time that change is happening very, very fast and we don't know what is happening. If we look into retail, and this graph represents what has happened in Spain, but it's very similar in many different countries and what happened with retail. I can say that it has been divided in 3 areas, in 3 sectors. Like at the beginning when we were locked down and basically all the retail was closed and many sectors were affected. Now the second phase, when we were recovering, and I think we are living now in a second peak of the COVID, that let's see for how long it's going to be affected. most of the studies mention that probably we will be, well, vaccines are coming by January, February. I think many of you are now rethinking in what is happening next year and building like 3 different budget scenarios. The scenario where we believe that we will be kind of okay by summer, and a scenario that we will be recovering by Q3, and I think the worst scenario that is going to happen in Q4. But I think most of the countries have been living the same situation, the 3 phases, and we are right now rethinking in what is happening next and planning for next year with different scenarios, because we are still don't know when the vaccine is coming, how effective it's going to be, and how fast the retail and the business is going to be recovered. What we know, and this is very clear, is that the pandemic has a clear trigger for online sales worldwide. At the moment, we see that, and this is a study, in this slide you can see a study that has been done by Salesforce, and what we have seen is like a 53 increase in sales, digital sales, in most of retailers, or average, overall, in worldwide, according to this study. And it's just not only the digital sales, it's also the increase on BOPIS. BOPIS means buying online and pick up on a store. We have seen a huge increase in what means digital. And again, this is just not in one country, but overall worldwide. Here in this slide, just another example. In this case, the source is Netrica, and give you a little bit more of understanding and flavor of what has happened in different countries and in different sectors. Just to highlight special attention to the UK, Germany, mainly in beauty and cosmetic, home decoration, and office supplies and supermarket. How highly it has increased on the digital sales. And why this has happened? Digital sales has increased because consumer has changed, and consumers has changed the way of they were buying, and they are accelerating the way they buy online. So more consumers are buying online, and they're buying more frequently. Also, just to share with you a study from Salesforce, where they were asking retailers how they think the consumers will be buying in the next years, and how this will be affecting their online of the day sales, and the result is that many retailers see online marketplace, like a clear trend. They believe that 33% of their sales, they're going to go through marketplace. So marketplace were relevant, but they're even becoming more relevant, and they're here to stay. So either you sell through a marketplace, or either you become a marketplace, but I think it's a clear challenge. Retail sales is still 26%, brand side 25%. We have seen the recent years a trend of direct to consumer, so more brands going direct to consumer, and this is a trend that is becoming and is going to stay. And then emerging touch points. I think this is very interesting, and this is the area where will be growing even more. We have seen that consumers are becoming even more in social networks. Now it was Facebook, Instagram, but now we see new ones coming even from the more younger audience, like TikTok, becoming super popular, Twitch, for example, for gamers. So all these emerging new touch points are going to represent just not social networks, but a place where retailers think that their consumers are going to buy, representing 16% of the total sales. So the advice is, just not think about, this COVID has made change in the recent times, but they're going to accelerate different ecosystem and special attention to these emerging touch points. So I think with this very complex situation and panorama, most of the retailers, what they have been thinking, and I have experienced this myself also, is about cutting costs and making sure that we can survive during this time and getting ready for next year. But let me just share with you another ideas about how technology and digital can, we have to invest now to, besides cutting costs, be ready for what is coming, what is the next expectation for the next months. First advice, do not stop doing the basics. I think during the pandemic at the beginning, we were all on shock. No, we didn't know what to do and what was coming. The first advice is do the basics, communicate to the consumer, say to them that you are open, say to them that you are safe, that your store is safe to buy, safe to buy, and making sure that you can touch and communicate to the consumer, saying the very, very basics. I remember when COVID started, I was still in Deliveroo, and the first question that we did have is like, let's go, let's talk to the consumers and say we are open. We can still do delivery, and we can open, and we have the right safety, security, and the way that we are going to deliver to you is going to be safety, so you can buy online. So going back and don't stop doing the essentials. Then another topic is deep on the knowledge of the customer. The customer has been always a big topic, no, during the recent years, and now even more important about the data. How much do I know about my consumer, what they want, and how I can help and facilitate the shopping? So now in this time, it's even more important to deep the knowledge of the customer, use BI data, AI, and making sure that we can connect with them. I know that many of you, some of them, they were small retailers that they don't even have a customer base or they didn't have the data. So really, it's time to do it, no? And it's time to invest in data and customers. Then guarantee the online presence. We realized during this time, consumers were, we know they were more on digital, but they were also more in social networks. Just to give you an example, in Spain, during this COVID time, we saw an increase of 55% in traffic in Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Overall, in other countries, it also increase a lot. Just to give you another example, in Italy it was 30%, Germany 11%, UK 10%, and France 14%. So if the consumers are there, let's guarantee our online presence. Let's be where they are. If they are in LinkedIn or if they are in Facebook, let's make sure that we have presence, we have our brand there, or products are there, and let's make sure again that we communicate with them with the right message that they need to know now. Another topic, adapt the offer to the digital world. We know that they are not just on social media, but they are buying more. We have seen that. There is a lot of new consumers that they were not buying online before, and now they're starting to buy. And some of them that they are buying more. So it's just not about being there, it's being there and rethink what is our strategy and adapt our offer to the social, to this new digital world. Like there has been a lot of examples and initiatives now, for example, about social commerce. How do I buy through my social network, through WhatsApp? Where should I be? Should I be communicating in different world? So make sure that I think about what is my offer and how can I adapt this to this new ecosystem. And that's a reality. And going back into many retailers, what they have been thinking during these months is like, before COVID, there were a lot of projects that they were, many retailers were thinking about digital transformation. They knew that they need to invest. It's not in e-commerce, but also like in internal process services to be more digital. And they were in phase of consideration, strategy, execution. But we asked retailers, and this is a survey that Salesforce did, they asked retailers, what do you think is going to happen with your digital transformation in the next 3 years? And again, many retailers are thinking, and I'm positive that they're going to be moving from just thinking or evaluating to realization, project that has been done. So we see a 264% increase in realization process in the next 3 years. So COVID at least has realize for most retailers that they have to move from the thinking into execution and really completing this project. So all of this is data that Salesforce again has gathered from retailers. We have also seen some other surveys that just not projects all related about digitalization, but also a lot increase and expectation about AA. There is another surveys and reports that talks about the increase in the next 3-5 years of really moving from adapting or talking into really AI projects into the retail business. So I know it's very difficult in the times that we think just not focusing ourselves in the short term, but it's critical that we think also in the long term. What what is happening now, but what will be happening in the future, and it's thinking about solutions while we keep the business running, thinking about alternative like VOPIs, which is a clear topic, no, that is related to click and collect, for example, new channels, new investment in AI, probably new thinking about consumers, new loyalty programs. Do I have the right team? Is the right team? Or do I have the right people? Is well trained? So while we think on short term and not keep our business safe, I think it's important to reevaluate how I can do and evaluate my long-term business and investing in the right topics. And it's just clearly not about thinking, no, it's how I think about the user experience and in the new way of selling online and focus on the user experience. A business must immediately assess their customer shopping experience and reimagine those that could be redesigned as a digital first. It's just not moving from the offline to the online, but is redesigning that experience. So this customer experience team should be considered and takes even a major influence within the team, because we need to ensure a positive experience. And let me go again, no, giving you an example. It's just not about going back about the example of VOPIs. We know that consumers will be looking forward more to buy online and pick up on the store. So it's just redesigning the process from the beginning. Maybe I do need less store, I need less space in the store and build my store through more experience. And I need more space to make this process of click and collect, of people not picking up my store in a better way. Maybe I need less parking space because I'm going to have less people in my store again, and they're going to be more doing pick up. Maybe I need to relook about what is the experience when they go and pick up, and can I do cross-selling? So it's about reimagine according to the new customer needs, how are going to be the experience, and think first probably on digital and think about the consumer. During this time, we also have seen that customer experience and customers, the needs has been changed and are redesigned. Before, when we thought about consumers, we thought, look, for most of the consumers, in many cases, price was top priority. Then it was convenience. Then it was about product quality, then service, and most of the cases, health and safety. What, again, asking, and according to the survey of Salesforce, we have seen that these priorities has been really changed. Now, the price that was a big topic for many consumers has moved, no, from the top priority to the third priority. And what they care more, consumers, when they go to the store, is about health and safety. Convenience is still a big topic, service, and then product quality. So thinking about keeping in mind that the consumers are worried about health and safety, probably we have seen that we have a lot of retailers that have been moving priorities, and now they are really investing a lot of resources and money to make sure that when the consumers go into the store, they feel safe and they feel like you are taking care of their health, and that's why they're going to buy on your store. Probably price is going down into the priorities, and let's see what happens. Let's see if consumers in the next years they go back, no, and putting price as a top priority, or they keep, no, with the health and safety as a key topic, no, for the next years. Going back into like an overview, what has happened. Definitely for most of us, especially the retail sector, I talk also about the ticketing sector, in my case, is a very tough year because we have seen that the pandemic and the situation has made the business close, and we are really, well, losing business, and we have been needed to adapt very fast. We have seen that many of us has been partially put the people in ourselves in unemployment and metrics, and has been a very, very, very tough year for many of us. But I think, and for that is the question is a year to forget or is a year for learning. I prefer to see this as a clear opportunity for learning, especially on the because we know that we are living in VUCA times, but we know that turbulence, this is a turbulence that has come, but we know that probably many other turbulence will happen, and we have learned about how to set up how to keep the organization clearly strong when a turbulence comes, to be agile enough to adapt my team, my business, being able to adapt to the consumer needs, and how I can react to the business to keep alive and keep even stronger afterwards. So my advice is, I don't think we should be forgetting this year. I think we should be learning from this year and hoping that next year is much better for all of us. As an overview, because I really would like to close with optimistic message. There is companies that have known how to do it very well during this time and find how to escape from problems and seeing the opportunities stand out. And I think there is a way to go. I'm positive that this learning and reinventing will make us stronger. The key takeaways from myself and shared during the presentation. First topic is about customer engagement. Before, it was critical to understand the customers, but now it's even more critical, and understanding the customer, innovation, and financial success is very important. Then digital transformation. We knew that e-commerce was growing faster than retail overall. In many countries, online was growing around between 15 and 25%. We have seen that pandemic has accelerated e-commerce, but had also accelerated overall the digital transformation. So it's just not about e-commerce, it's about digital transformation. It's about translating this digital transformation into technology, but most important, into people. I think we will see, we have seen, like we have done, all of us, like a super fast master, or training in digital, and we see that one of the key takeaways, digital transformation is here to stay, and even to come faster. Shopping at the edge. When we're talking about that, we will see a lot of new different channels coming a top priority for the consumers. So please do not forget about understanding where the consumer is. It's in marketplace, it's in the brand, it's in social media, and how I need to invest and make sure that I can connect where the consumer is. And last, I think, agile organization. We have seen that we need focus on the organization. We need a flexible workforce. We need to make decisions with a lot of uncertainty, but we need to make decisions very fast, and even more important, the strategy that we did have before. Now think about what is the strategy and the investment that I want to do in my future. So again, I want to finalize with after all, with a positive message. I hope that the plans that we are doing for next year, we will go to the most optimistic one, and we can really become out of COVID with a probably stronger team and a strategy for next year. Last, let me thanks again to IBTM World Virtual for organizing this amazing conference series. And since we are very close now to Christmas, again, thanks for the Merry Christmas to all of you, and